What's going on, everybody? Look, I just needed to jump on here really quick. I know that I probably won't have a ton of viewers or anything like this for this right now, but I'm so happy that some people will see this in the recap. But basically, look, this morning I got to sit with Carl Ingalls himself. He is one of the experts and consultants for higher probability selling, which is what I based my entire selling practice off of. And I have to be honest with you, I read the book. I took the pieces that I was familiar with and was really actually comfortable with and applied them to my prospecting over the last couple of years of absentee owners and of really any other lead as well. And I've had some really good success with it. But it was just until this morning, a couple of years later, when I happened to see that there was an offering of the high probability essentials, which is basically an updated version of high probability selling, with the understanding that things are different now. High probability selling came out, man, so long ago, right? Like so long ago. I mean, I think it was around in the 80s. I don't know when the book was published. I had it right there, but it was published a long time ago. But I checked it out. I bought it. I read through it about like 3 or 4 times, wrote out a script, and just started going to work with it. A lot of things in it have worked for me, but now I see so many. There are so many different epiphanies in this training that I absolutely would recommend it to anyone who's looking to switch up their style of selling or anything like that. And I definitely plan on implementing that along with some of my other marketing methods with video and everything else that I use to get directly to my ideal client, the ideal people that I want to work with, and communicate my message clearly. But here's some of the things that I took away. For, number one, you probably heard me say this before: be brief and be gone. Um, Language you're offering with the prospect, potential client, customer, right up front in the beginning of the call. Get to the point to ask them if it's something that they want. If they say no, accept no and move on. If they say yes, you have to question that yes. And that's something that I learned today. Question the yes. They say yes, ask them why they want it. Ask them why they want it. Carl actually did it to me at the end of the call, which led me to tell him exactly why I would like to work with him going forward or take other course offerings as well. And we're going to be meeting on Monday. But he actually did it. He said, why? Um, why are you here? Why do you want to change the way that you're doing things? What is it? What's in it for you? Basically, it's a discovery question. It's a true discovery question. And then and only then did he decide that we would meet on Monday and talk further about what we can do, potentially work together. Um, the other thing he said was, what is it? Be it, don't say it. So here's an example. If you've heard some of my other calls or heard the calls that I've been doing lately, I always say something like I'll be brief or I don't want to take up too much of your time or whatever. Basically, what he's saying is just be it. Be brief. Don't say you'll be brief. Don't take up too much of your time. Don't say you're not going to take up too much of their time. Just don't do it. And then you don't have to say it. And that in and of itself shortens your script and shortens and gets your approach basically to be more direct and be honest. The other thing, which was amazing, was he said to write down every single question that you get on the phone and write out an answer to it. And that way, when you do that, objections become material. I'll repeat that. Objections become material, meaning that a lot of times we consider questions when we're prospecting to be an objection, right? Somebody asks, "How'd you get my number?" That's an objection. You're already put back. You do this. When I'm prospecting absentee owners, a lot of times people ask me, "What's the home worth?" Right there on the phone, and I haven't done that research. I don't have it with me, whatever. And that could be an objection. It could just be something to throw you off or whatever. But here's when I truly had the epiphany. I literally was speechless when he said this, but he said, place a price on that valuation and ask them if that's what they want. That in and of itself changed the game for me going forward into everything I'm going to do when I'm prospecting, especially when I'm prospecting absentee owners. Put a price on that valuation and ask them if that's something that they want. Now, the average price for an appraisal is right around $500. So he said, basically, if somebody says, "What's your home worth?" they're trying to stall, whatever they're trying to do, you can call their bluff, but do it very calmly. Say, listen, you can, don't even say, listen, I can provide you with a valuation for $500. Is that something that you want? That was so amazing to me. That was so amazing to me. That's going to be the number one comeback. The other thing that I wrote down from that, from him saying that alone was, when people ask me where they get my number, simple. I purchased a list, or your name and number was on a list that I purchased. Then get back to the purpose of the call. Do you want to sell your house at this time? That's it. And that's literally exactly how he said it to me. It was just that simple. It was really just that simple. If somebody gets to asking you how's the market and you're trying to educate them on the market, what I always have a market report that I record as a video, send out to my past clients and everything. That's something that I always have. So, in answer to that, in order to not have to educate a prospect, which is another principle of high probability selling, is don't spend too much time educating a prospect. It is basically letting them know, I can send you my most recent market report. Is that something that you want? If they say yes, say, okay, what's your email address? Now you have their email address. Now you're sending that to them monthly. So many things that just came out of that just made prospecting, made this so much easier. And the last and final thing that I will do, because I know that you've seen me do this on my calls, I know that you've seen me talk about leaving voicemails. The new thing for high probability selling, once upon a time, was not to leave a voicemail. Now, always leave a voicemail. However, you're just leaving a short, brief message, letting them go, getting them off the phone. So I would say something like this on my voicemail. This is Blake Wallace with Wallace Realty Group. I'm calling about your property on Main Street here in Apple Valley. Wanted to know if you would consider selling at this time. If that's something that you want, give me a call back at blah, 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 blah. That's how it will go. And I will leave that voicemail and I will drop it in every time. Now, can I pre-record that? I can't, because it's a specific voicemail, a specific address, or a specific street name. But as I'm going through and leaving those messages, that is something that I'm going to start doing, is leaving voicemail. So you're going to see me change. Now, I told you that when I was on the coffee and cold calls video this morning, I told you you'll probably see some things change with my prospecting after taking this class or after sitting through this workshop, and they will be changing immediately, starting this evening when I make my phone calls, starting tomorrow, and continuing on forward. And as I put these things together, these will be a part of my service, my coaching service that I'm putting out there in the next week. You will see me start to link to that, so that you can sign on and start getting some consultation on that as well. But it's what it's going to be entailing. What you'll get from that is um, weekly accountability meetings. You'll get a framework for making phone calls, as well as the tools to use. And then you'll also get a framework for your follow-up, utilizing video, email, video outreach, and things like that, as well as the tools to use for that. So if that's something that you want, be on the lookout for that link, as I link that below. And I'll also put out a video for it here as well. And it'll be kind of a teaser trailer video. But listen, my mind has been blown today. It's given me brand new energy for continuing on the growth of both my own personal production, the production of others, as well as my brokerage, and looking forward to continuing to pass down the good that's been done for me and send any referrals over to the high probability selling. So I've linked in the description of this video, I've linked the high probability selling website. It's a very bare bones website, but the basics of it are the blog, and go into their products and see what courses they have to offer, because they're amazing. You will definitely get some golden nuggets out of it. And I hope you go visit that website and check it out. I definitely had an amazing time with the workshop. Carl Ingalls, super cool guy, super interesting cat, very eclectic, very laid back, very cool. Definitely met my style, and the style of selling matches me as well. So that's it. That's my recap. Thank you for watching. Be on the lookout for more material.